Manchester United have been beaten 3-1 at home by Brighton. State of affairs here, we were getting absolutely olayed by Brighton fans at Old Trafford. An absolute stinking performance from Manchester United, and it weren't just one player or the other. Onana makes a huge mistake for their third goal, but Manchester United all around were pretty abysmal today. Where do you even start? Where do you start with that performance? We've seen it countless times, and you know what, we were that bad against Southampton. Luckily we got away with it because Southampton are abysmal and they're a championship club, and we had Amad Diallo turning it on. Today, not even Amad could save us. A proper poor performance from back to front. We didn't create enough chances. We didn't have enough control in midfield, and defensively poor as well at times. You look at the goals for them, one on the back post. Should we be marking a little bit tighter on the back post there? Could Onana save that one? And then you have Onana spilling easy opportunities into the Brighton attackers. A real poor performance from Manchester United today, and it was exactly what Ruben Amorim said after the Arsenal game. I won't learn anything about my team against Liverpool, against Arsenal, against Man City. I'll learn about my team against Southampton, against Brighton, and we would have learned an awful lot about some of these players today. Most of them being that they're not good enough to play for Manchester United, because that was shocking. Absolutely abysmal performance in front of 70-odd thousand Manchester United fans, all leaving Old Trafford frustrated, all leaving Old Trafford thinking, what the hell is going on? Just not good enough. We gave Brighton so much space, so much room, so much ability to do. And look, Brighton are a very good team. They can do that to you. And you would have thought after the Southampton game, surely we've learned some lessons. Surely we'll take some notes from that. Surely we won't start off as slowly as we did against Southampton. But guess what? We did. So poor from Manchester United. I don't even know where to start. Let's start at the back. Andre Onana. How many times am I going to defend this guy? Because look, he started this season quite well. He's saved us on a number of occasions. You know, you think about his double save against Southampton. Incredible double save. You think about some of his saves throughout the season. Incredible. But can you win the league, which has to be the goal for Manchester United? And look, I know it sounds mad saying that when we're sitting like 14th or 15th in the table, but can you win the league with Andre Onana in goal? The facts of the matter are, he's always going to have one of those moments. I don't know if I can keep defending this guy, because that's just not good enough. You go to the back line again. Mazraoui and Diallo were our wing backs today. Poor. That's probably the poorest game Mazraoui's had. Now, he's had a few games recently where he's not quite been up to the races. He's not quite been at it. And this was another one of those today. Not good enough from him. Diogo Dalot, not good enough from him. Probably could have done better with Matoma's goal, I think it was. The centre-backs, I thought De Ligt had a decent game. I thought Maguire had a decent game. I thought Lenny Yoro was okay. But in the grand scheme of things, you've got to dominate that area of the pitch. You've got to be on the front foot. You've got to be doing more. Look, I don't think De Ligt can look too badly at his performance today. There was also some great moments of his when he was passing the ball out and finding Amad Diallo. I thought his passing range was very good. But we always kind of lose a little bit of him when we put him out wide. It has to be him or Maguire in the middle. And, you know, that's where they both play. That's where they're both more comfortable. And today, Maguire was the one down the middle. And I'm not blaming Maguire for anything. I thought it was reasonably okay. But then you look in the midfield, Ugarte and Maino. We allowed Brighton to have far too much control, far too much space in front of our defence. Far too easy for them. Bruno Fernandes, another frustrating performance from our captain. Another performance where he's not quite putting the effort. Not quite. He's always going to put in the effort. I suppose that's a little bit unfair. But the quality wasn't there. The quality wasn't there from Bruno Fernandes. Who else played up there with him? Amad Diallo. Again, kept going to the last minute. Kept going to the end. But ultimately, we can't rely on Amad Diallo to save us every single week. Joshua Zirkzee was someone that I thought did quite well today. Probably our best player. I was disappointed to see him go off the field, especially when you see the players that were coming on for him. Anthony and Højlund. Again, Højlund's someone that I've defended. You know, you look at his goal conversion rate, you look at his age, you look at his potential, you look at his record in Europe, which has been pretty good, but ultimately not good enough. And again today, I don't think he was responsible for this result. He didn't play long enough to be responsible for this result, but he was never going to change the result when he came onto the pitch. Not at all. Just a poor performance from back to front. And we've got to learn to get it right against these teams. When we're expected to have possession, when we're expected to dominate the ball, when we're expected to create more chances, we've got to be better. And that's one of the things Amorim has to get across to this team. And obviously, we can talk about players and we can talk about signings, but we're not going to be able to make many signings in January, if any. And we can't make wholesale changes until the summer. So when you're looking at that, you're going, where the change is going to come from? They have to come from the coaching, they have to come from the training. Are they learning enough? Are they doing enough? Are we being able to create those chances when we have got more possession and we're expected to have more possession? We're just not doing it at the moment, because it's one thing to go, look, Brighton deserved their goals today. They were the better team today. But did Manchester United really create anything? Did we? A few opportunities, a few half chances here and there. Our goal came from the penalty spot, which I thought was a blatant penalty, and a penalty that we deserved in that moment. But we had so many warning shots. We go 1-0 down, we get the penalty. We're fortunate to go in at half time 1-1. What do? We fall asleep again. They score, gets disallowed. VAR intervenes for a foul on Diogo Dalot. All right, that may be the right decision, but did we learn from that? Did we take any lessons from that? Did we think, you know what, Brighton are coming here, the Brighton are going to potentially score again? No, we allowed them to do it. Ball to the back post, it's a goal. Brighton score. You look at their third goal. What is Andre Onana doing? What are you doing? I'd have grabbed that. Anyone would have grabbed that. How are you getting the control of the ball within your chest area and allowing it to slip free? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And you look at the table, Manchester United aren't going to climb up this table. You think, oh yeah, a couple of results, which we can't string together, by the way, and we'll start climbing this table. I think Fulham are 7 points away from us, and they're 10th or 11th. Excuse me, I'm not, up to speed with the bottom half of the table, but they're a fair stretch away from us. We ain't catching Fulham. We ain't catching anybody like this. And we're just lucky that there's a lot more teams that are a lot worse than Manchester United, that we won't be dragged into an embarrassing relegation battle. Because that was so poor today. And I feel sorry for the manager when you're looking at the bench and you're going, I got Rasmus Højlund, who's not been performing recently. I got Anthony, who's absolute crap. Who have I got? Toby Collier, a young lad to come off the bench. And Toby Collier is always going to put in effort. He's always going to stick in a shift. He's always going to challenge and try and make things, try and win the ball back and be hungry. But he's not got the quality that we need. And we need more. I don't want to hear about fatigue. I don't want to hear about, this player can't play 90 minutes here. We need more. So poor from Manchester United. What the fuck was that performance? What the fuck was that performance? I don't know. And not at one point in that, as soon as they scored their second half, I knew that game was over. I knew that game was over. Just abysmal from Manchester United. Embarrassing. Fucking hell. And I hope Ruben Amorim's learning about some of these players. I don't want to see some of these players here next season. It's just a shame there's so many bad ones that it's difficult to get rid of them all in the same window. And I saw some people, Anthony was linked with a loan move to Real Betis, and some people are going, oh, we're loaning out all our players. Oh, what are we going to do? How are we going to have numbers? Who the fuck cares? Anthony needs to leave. Anthony needs to leave. It's as simple as that. Some of these players need to go, whether we've got enough numbers or not. If we need to drag up some players from the academy, feel free to do that. Because like the manager said at the start of the season, we need to feel pain before this gets better. And there's going to be a lot more pain to come from Manchester United and from this team, because it's just simply not good enough to do what the manager wants. And like I said, the Leeds performance was okay today. Joshua Zirkzee's performance, I thought he was our best player. It was disappointing to see him go off the pitch. He hasn't played many 90 minutes in recent weeks. But boy, oh boy, that performance was shocking from Manchester United. Absolutely shocking. I don't even know what to think. Brighton are just so much of a better team than us. The least they could have done was, if they were going to beat us, is let Danny Welbeck score, so I've got something to cheer. Because that was absolute crap from Manchester United today. And you go, all right, can we get Europe? Can we get Champions League spots through winning the Europa League? Performing like that. You got no chance, mate. You've got absolutely no chance. You've not even got a chance of beating Leicester in the FA Cup, and Leicester haven't won a game in how long? Knowing them, Ruud van Nistelrooy will rock up here and we'll give him a victory as well. Old Trafford is far from a fortress. Old Trafford is an easy 3 points for whoever really wants it. And Manchester United are stinking the gaff out at the moment. So many of these players, I'm not going to blame the manager. Look, I think he's got a difficult position at the moment. He comes in mid-season, he's trying to translate his philosophy to the team. And I think at the moment, it's easier for those lads to stick to his philosophy when we're playing those bigger teams, because we're not expected to get on the ball as much. We're not expected to create all the chances. We can hit them on the counter-attack a little bit. And we've got some players that are suited to playing on the counter-attack. But fucking hell, some of those boys need to take a hard look at themselves in the mirror today. Pathetic. Not just today either. The best thing about today was we paid honours and we paid respect to Dennis Law, who was an absolute legend of the club. You know, why do we do round of applauses, by the way? Whatever happened to a minute's silence? Can't people just shut the fuck up and do a minute's silence? We don't trust people enough that we have to do a minute's applause. I find all that weird, but it was nice to see some of his former teammates, Sir Alex Ferguson, on the pitch, paying homage and paying honour to Dennis Law. But that's where it ended for Manchester United fans in terms of wholesome feelings, because that was shocking from the Reds today. Absolutely shocking. Battered by Brighton here at Old Trafford. It could have been worse as well. Stinks.